So on today's Academy lesson, we're going to cover a very unique move and a bunch of different applications for it. This move is known as the diminishing lift sequence. This is a move created by Ed Marlowe, of course, the creator of most things to do with card magic. So today I thought I'd show you guys a bunch of different variations for this particular move, as well as a preview as to a future tutorial that I'm going to put up on the main channel. So the diminishing lift sequence is a way of showing 4 cards as one particular card. So you might be familiar with the frustration count where you show 4 cards and they're all the same. In this case, they're all the 3 of clubs. So what the diminishing lift sequence allows you to do is to just show the cards in this sort of way, as opposed to how the frustration count shows the cards to all be the same. So now in this case, you could show all the cards to be the Queen of Diamonds. Of course, the diminishing lift gets its name because first you start with a triple lift, then you go to a double lift, then a single, and then a switch. That's why it gets its name. So to start this, let's assume that we want to show this entire packet to be the 3 of clubs. So we're going to start by getting a break underneath the bottom card of the deck. So we could do that by just pulling with our finger on the upper right corner, which allows us to get a break because of the buckle. And now we're going to come in with our right hand and turn everything over on top of this single card. So you're turning these 3 cards over as one. Now, if you want, at this point, you could catch the cards in the Altman trap that we've discussed in the double lift episode, putting the pressure to the thumb. So now we have a break again. This is a way of doing it where you could turn these 3 cards over as one, show the 3, turn the cards over again, and reestablish the break. So now you have done a triple lift, an Altman trap, transferring it over to the pinky, turning it back down, doing another Altman trap, and once again putting the pressure on the pinky. Now, after, I'm going to show you guys a way of doing this without any breaks whatsoever. So this is just the first method. You're going to single off this card into the right hand. Now with your fingertips underneath, you're actually going to use your pinky to bend this card, which allows these fingers to come in and lift that card to show that it is the 3 of clubs. So you're going to repeat the process, but this time holding this card in the right hand. Once again, we're doing an Altman trap, which allows us to reestablish the break, showing the 3 and turning it back down, repeating the Altman trap and thumbing it off into the right hand. So at its entirety, the sequence looks like you've shown the 3, put it into the right hand, shown another 3, and put it once again in the right hand. Now, because this is a single, you could very cleanly turn over this next card, turn it back face down, and here is where you do the last switch. You're going to use your fingertips underneath the right hand to grab the bottom card over here. At the same time, you are going to have your left thumb come in contact with the top of this card over here, which is the 3 that you've shown. And what this is going to allow you to do is to use this bottom card as you pull these cards to the right to lift and turn over this card into the left hand. So one more time, we're grabbing this bottom card with our fingertips, moving everything to the right. So in this case, we're moving this card to the right. And by putting pressure with our thumb, we could turn this card over in the left hand and show the last card. So one more time, at a hole, we're showing the 3, then we're showing another 3, then we're showing the 3 again, and lastly, we're executing the switch and showing the last 3. And that concludes the diminishing lift sequence. Now, there is a way of doing this without any breaks whatsoever by using the technique known as the push-off. So in this case, we're going to hold the cards in mechanic's grip in the left hand. And by putting pressure with our thumb on the upper left corner, you're going to be able to notice that you could push these 3 cards as a block. So these 3 cards are being pushed as a block, which can then be grabbed by the right hand. So you're going to play around with the pressure, but you're going to notice that if you push consistently, you're going to be able to push these cards off as a block. And now you could turn these 3 cards over as one and show the Queen of Diamonds, much the same as we did before. So this time, to turn it over, we're going to repeat the action, thumb it off into the right hand. And now you notice we don't have to hold any breaks whatsoever because we're just pushing off 3 at first, and then 2, and then now 1, showing the Queen of Diamonds, and then lastly executing the exact same switch as before that we discussed. So that's a way of doing it with and without a break. Now here is an alternative handling of the last card that is very effective. We could show the 3, turn it over, show the 3, turn it over, show the 3, turn it over. And this time, instead of doing the traditional method that we discussed before, we're actually going to revolve all these cards towards our body. So we are putting our thumb underneath this packet in the left hand. We're revolving it as we turn our wrist. And with our fingertips, we're going to grab the card that is face down underneath as we pull that card towards the right and use that to flick this last 3. So at speed, it should just look like you have turned the last card over. You're trying to approximate that you've turned that last card over like this. However, because this card is face up, it just looks like you've turned the packet over and shown the last card. That's an alternative handling for the last card that some people might enjoy. Now, this is a move that I like to call down the ladder. I'm going to teach this on the channel later on, but it's a way of doing a diminishing lift sequence with, instead of the card being third from the top, now the card is on top. So this is a little bit of a Mexican turnover move, which we're going to discuss in a future episode. But for now, the move looks like this. You show the ace, and in that same action, you show the ace over here, show the ace over here, and then lastly, you're able to show the ace down there. So that's why I call it the down the ladder move. I don't know if you're familiar with the toy that is in the form of a ladder that looks a little bit like this. And when you flick the top one, this one comes down, and then the ladder kind of readjusts. That's why I decided to name it that way. So let's get into the mechanics here. We're going to spread the cards just like this, showing the 4 cards. And as we score it up, we're going to get a break underneath the second card from the top of the deck. We're going to show the top card, in this case, the ace of spades. When we turn it face down, we're going to square it up with this card. At the same time, we're going to use our thumb to push that ace of spades and use this bottom card to lever it face up second from the top of the deck. So one more time, we've shown the ace of spades here. And now, in that action, what we've done is that we've essentially pushed that card off and used this card to lever that ace of spades over again. Now, we're going to turn this ace of spades over. We're going to push with our thumb, much like the same block turnover we did before, and we're going to use our fingertips to grab this bottom card. You notice what that does is that this allows us to put our thumb up here, pull these cards to the right, and use that to turn over the ace of spades again. So let's go over that one more time here. We've shown the ace of spades. We've turned over this card. Next, we've turned that face down, pushed these 2 cards off as 1. With our right fingertips, we're going to grab the card at the face. Remember, we're pushing off 2 cards here as 1. We're going to grab the card at the face, and our thumb is already here. So all we have to do is push these 2 cards to the right and use this bottom card to lever over that ace of spades, showing it. Now we can turn it back face down and do the exact same action as before, showing that ace of spades as the last card. And that is the down the ladder sequence. Now, the down the ladder sequence also works tremendously well on the table. So in this case, we could show the ace of spades, we could show the next ace of spades, show the next ace of spades, and then lastly, show all the cards to be aces as we drop them on the table in whatever sort of effect you want. In alternative handling for the last card is a move by Juan Ramirez. And what this move allows you to do is to apparently show both of these cards as the ace. However, we have really just shown the face of one of these cards. I'm going to do a lot with this move in the future. However, for now, let's just talk about the move as a visual switch here. So we're showing the ace of spades in our right hand at the fingertips. We are then going to bring it down and use our fingertips of the right hand, the remaining ones, to grab the bottom of the card. And now we're actually going to reverse the sequence here. So we're going to pinch this top card with our left hand at the same time that we let go with our right hand and turn that ace over again, dropping this last one on the table. So the way that looks like at speed is just like this, and we're able to show both of these cards to apparently be the ace of spades. So one more time, we are coming in. We're going to pinch with our left fingers here. So we're pinching with our forefinger and our thumb. And then we're going to let go with our right hand, drop this card on the table, and show the ace of spades. So at speed, it just looks like you've shown both cards. And that's a wonderful end to the down the ladder sequence. So those are a number of different ways of doing the diminishing lift sequence. And I really hope you guys enjoyed that particular lesson. I hope to see you guys on the next one.